Hey guys, it's Dalkin and today I'm here with you, Yuri on Ice, episode 10. Now, this episode was everything I wanted. Like, oh my goodness, every AU headcanon that I've seen, it was all in this episode. Like, it's like Kubo Sensei secretly has a Tumblr and sees what everybody wants, and she's like, fuck it, we're putting it in this episode. And whenever I think of filler, I think Naruto filler. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but filler is not a word that I like. So when I heard it was going to be a filler episode, I was like, uh, do we really have time for a filler episode? I mean, we only have 3 episodes left. And the Grand Prix is almost there. So are you guys going to have enough time? But oh my goodness, was I wrong. This episode used every minute, every second, and took advantage of it. Like, we got character development, we got a very cute victory scene, and we got that plot twist at the end. And you know this episode was good, that by the end of it, you like Chris. Like, Chris! You know, I don't know how to feel about Chris. Chris, like, creeped me out, you know, grabbing Yuri's ass, but now it makes sense why he did it. So to begin the episode, we start off with Victor saying that he has not experienced love in life. And if you think about it, that's kind of sad. Like, he's been he's been skating all his life, and he has never experienced this. So, or more like he's been neglecting it. And I really like how Yuri is the one who's shown him that, and he says it by the end of this episode that Yuri has given him like love and life, and he's been doing that to like not just him but to like everybody around him. So yeah, so then we get this episode in Victor's point of view, and I really like that because we always get Yuri's point of view and what he thinks and like what he's thinking, but this time it's Victor. And I was like, finally, because we never know what Victor is truly thinking. And he pretty much, you know, introduces to all the Grand Prix finalists, and he starts saying, no, this is my best friend, Chris, Yurio, Otobek, which by the way, like he got introduced in this episode from Kazakhstan, and he's pretty cool. And I'm a little bit scared. Like, what if it's like his skating? Like, I don't know what his skating style is, but I don't like. Let's keep an eye on him because he does seem like a really good ice skater. So there's a funny one where like he's like, I think this guy's name is JJ. Here you have JJ saying, "Oh, Victor, you ran away because you're afraid of me." And I'm like, no, he doesn't even know you. So yeah. And then he at the end he says like his sleeping beauty Yuri, and it was just so cute. Like how far they come. And if you guys noticed, did you see the beds were like kind of close together? I was like, my dirty thoughts. But anyways, yeah. So Yuri and Victor go on a date, and because Yuri's, of course, his anxiety comes back and starts thinking of everybody doing like those quadruples and whatnot, and Yuri hasn't really been able to like land it yet. So he's thinking of like all his competitors. I'm like, Yuri, oh my goodness, like I like how Mappa keeps it so real. Like, anxiety is not something that just goes away or that someone just comes in and makes you feel better. Like, it's there. It's a fucking ghost, like, that keeps coming and scaring you. So props to Mappa. And yeah, so they go on the date, so like that can like what's it called? Like so Yuri doesn't have those thoughts anymore. So they go on a date, they go sightseeing, eat lunch, and they go shopping. I thought it was cute. And Victor, I'm like, what the fuck? How much stuff did you buy? And Yuri is like, no, I don't want anything. And like Victor's like, no, we'll go buy you a suit. And Yuri leaves a bag behind. And then we cut off to Yurio being chased by his fangirls, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What's up with these fangirls? Like, they're all sniffing and shit. And here comes his knight, Otobek, to save him from the fangirls. And Otobek says that he knows Yurio from like from a while ago. Like they trained together in Jakov's camps or something like that. And Yurio doesn't remember anything, so I was like, oh, that's some history that I want to know what's up with that. And he's like, well, you're gonna become my friend or not? I was like, that's a weird way to ask someone to become your friend. But yeah, Otobek and Yurio, started being friends, I guess. And then we cut off to like Yuri being kind of upset because he lost that bag. And Victor's like, no, don't worry about it. It's cool. But Yuri, you know how he is. He wants to go and make up for it. And there's a scene where Victor says that whenever Yuri is looking for like an answer or like trying to find something, his eyes like sparkle or something like that. And he's just like, no, I'll just stay quiet and watch him. And I thought that was so sweet because like Victor is slowly like becoming better, like adapting to Yuri and his anxieties. And I really like that how they're both like starting to understand each other and how much effort Victor is putting into his relationship. So Yuri then blushes because he sees the jewelry store, and I'm like, oh my, like please tell me we're not gonna see Yuri buying bracelets. Like I'll be pissed. But he buys the ring, and correct me if I'm wrong. He only bought one, right? Because people are telling me that no, he bought a pair of rings, but I'm like, that does not make sense. Why would he buy a pair? Like he says he wanted to give Victor a good luck charm. And why would he give himself a good luck charm? I don't know. But I want to believe that he only bought one, and Victor had another ring, and he was already, thinking of proposing to Yuri after the Grand Prix, but, Yuri got ahead and did it first. So, yeah, they have a cute moment at the church and everything. I was like, oh, it's so sweet. And then Yuri tells him, tell me something that's good luck. And Victor tells him, I want you to skate, like, whatever makes you happy. And don't think about it. Like, don't think about the other people. Just skate the way you want. And so they were blushing and everything. I'm like, they're so fucking married. Like, and then they go, it's like, oh, let's go eat. I'm so hungry. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And it ends like, half scene. And then we see that Yurio and Otobek are like in their little date. They're drinking tea. Like, did you see their faces? They're like all happy and shit. And they're saying that Otobek is not good at socializing with people. And we see Mari and Minoko-chan like stalking them, and then they ask Yuri to like, hey, let's go all get in together. And they invite also Peachy and Chris, and I'm like, how come no one invited JJ? No one invited JJ. It was so funny. So they're all together there and talking, and then Yuri says that he's always been alone at the banquets. Like he never had anybody to talk to, and I thought, I'm like, where was Peachy? I'm like, oh yeah, he wasn't there at the last Grand Prix. But he said he was always alone and saying that, man, I couldn't even talk to Victor. And Victor like spits out his drink. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, don't you remember what happened last year? And then they do like a little flashback of like you were just drinking. And then like, taking off his tie, getting all drunk and shit. But then we cut it off. And I was like, oh, I wanted to see more. But we'll get to that. And then Chris is like, yeah, I went pole dancing almost naked. And Yuri's like, yeah, you dragged me into a dance off. It was so funny. And then Chris notices that Yuri and Victor have rings. He's like, what is up with the rings, guys? And then Yuri's like, oh no, this is the good luck charm, yeah, huh? And Peachy's like, puts two and two together. Oh my god, congratulations on your marriage. Oh my god, hey guys, my friend got married. Oh my god, we all need a friend like Peachy. And I like that moment because everybody like clapped. Like, that's what I like. No one is like shaming them. No one's telling them, oh, two guys getting married. No. Everybody's like happy for them. And then JJ pops out of nowhere and says that, no, I'll be before that, sorry. Victor says, these are engagement rings. We'll get married after Yuri wins gold at the Grand Prix. And that's when like everything got serious and they're like, gold medal? And yeah, that's when JJ now pops and says that he'll be the one winning gold, and he's the one who's gonna get married. So I'm really curious how Kubo Sensei is gonna use their relationship, JJ and his fiance, to parallel to Yuri and Victor, because we've seen that before. Like the first one was Georgie and Anya's relationship compared to theirs, and then the other one was Sarah and Mickey relationship, and now it's gonna be JJ's and his fiance. So I'm really curious how that's gonna, parallel to one another. So, yeah, he pops up and then everybody leaves. No one likes JJ. And the next morning, Victor goes outside, to the beach and starts looking at his ring, how pretty it is. No, but I think he's probably thinking, like, I can't believe this. Like, I might actually get married. And then this scene was kind of scary and kind of like, what the fuck? Yuri comes out of nowhere and starts insulting Victor. Like, he even kicks him in the back. And then Victor snapped. Like, I don't know if he snapped, like, because he's like fed up with it, or because Yuri started talking shit about Yuri. And I'm like, Yuri, what the fuck is wrong with you? You were so sweet last episode. What the hell happened? So he says that, oh, I'm gonna win the gold because that ring that Fatso gave you means nothing. So I was like, excuse me, who are you? What happened to last episode's Yurio? So it was weird. And Victor goes back to his normal self, and he's saying that Yuri has given his L words, love and life, to, like, not just him, but like to the people around him. So I thought that was really sweet, and I thought that was it. And then we get that outro, and I thought it was a new outro. I was like, oh, isn't this a little bit too late to be giving us a new outro? But it was like the scene, or like the banquet where Yuri is getting drunk as fuck. Like, I did not expect this. I was laughing like this whole time. And I think we have Yuri and Chris pole dancing. I was like, when the fuck did Yuri learn how to pole dance? Like, and it's like no joke. Pole dancing is like a lot of upper arm strength, and like he was holding up Chris, and like they're doing all this shenanigans. And then you see Yurio and Yuri having a dance off too. Yurio saying he was dragged into him. Like, no, you weren't. You were so into it. He was dancing to it. And then we see like Yuri and Victor dancing together. And they were saying that this, like the last scene where like Yuri's holding Victor, it looks like that scene from the Playboy and the woman. So Yuri turns out to be the Playboy, and Victor's the woman who got seduced. And I was like, what a fucking plot twist. Yuri was always the Playboy because he seduced Victor and then left to Japan, and then he disappeared from skating. So now like him being assigned arrows makes so much sense. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, no wonder, because Victor saw Yuri's arrows. So when Yuri's like, no, I can't do arrows, he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You did it at the banquet last year. So I thought it was like a huge plot twist. In the last 10 seconds, where Yuri is grinding all over Victor. He's like talking apparently Japanese, saying, oh, my family owns this resort in Hasetsu. You should totally come and visit. And then the last thing he says, like, be my coach, Victor, in English. And Victor's face, that's the face of someone who, like, got a crush. Like, he's like, like, he blushes and everything. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I went and rewatched all those episodes, 1 through 9. I'm like, it was never queer baiting. It was real love. Like, oh my god, all those moments that I thought Victor was just being like your typical flirty foreigner, it was actually him being flirty. Like, oh my gosh. And I've seen some analysis of like, him trying to be sexy, him trying to ask him about personal life. And I always thought that like those questions are too personal to just wanting to be his coach. Like, oh, Ellie, you have a girlfriend, any ex-girlfriends? And I was like, oh my goodness, he was after Yuri this whole time. Like, Kyoho Sensei, you do it again. So I don't know what to expect in the next like 2 episodes, and I'm so sad that it's gonna end. But I really hope that we see like a wedding or something, like that or they're gonna get married. And I don't know if Yuri is gonna win gold the way has been going, but I hope so, because he hasn't really been given his like A+ in his free skate. So hopefully this time he nails all his jumps and he nails that quadruple flip at the end. So if he does, he might win. But Kubo Sensei throws curveballs at us, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I just hope JJ doesn't win. Anybody but JJ. I'm like, Chris, he can win, or Peachy. But anyway, so yeah, animation was really good. Like, it was like really, really good. And music, I love the music. And yeah, guys, so it was a 10 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Did you guys like it? Did you guys think it was a waste of time? I don't know. I didn't think it was a waste of time. I thought it was really great. And yeah, guys, tell me your favorite scenes, like the promise rings. I can't believe it fucking happened. Like I still can't believe this episode happened. But yeah, guys, so I'll see you guys in my next review, and I hope you guys have a good day. All right, bye.